You guys read the title, and holy moly, it has been a journey with these accounts. I've had these accounts for over 2 months, and it has been it's been a very um, thoughtful 2 months. Let's just put it that way. A month spent in drawdown, a month not even spent trading the accounts, but instead forward testing, refining, going back to the accounts, taking good trades, taking a couple losses and whatnot. But decided to finally full port the rest of the drawdown onto this trade today. Ended up taking a loss. I want to recap that with you guys. And I was gonna say like and what the plan is moving forward, but I guess the plan is the same. Literally just buy more accounts. However, I don't plan on buying accounts with Top Step just for a bit, primarily because the activation fees have been molesting me. They molested me a while ago. I spent over $1,400 in activation fees, and eventually that starts to eat up at you. So if I try to go in and buy three new accounts, yeah, that's an extra however much I don't feel like paying. So planning on going with My Fund Futures for a minute. Um, Heard good things about them from a friend, so we're gonna check them out. But apart from that, yeah, just quickly want to talk about the accounts. Here are the accounts, by the way. Oh, well, I already showed it. But man, it has been a psychological journey. I have very, very, very good trading psychology. Very good trading psychology. I actually take pride in my trading psychology, knowing when to step off, knowing how to manage my risk properly, all of that stuff. However, when you're in a scenario where you're trading accounts and you feel like you're not making progress and you don't see that progress for a very long time, it starts to take a toll on you mentally. Not really in a negative way, but just starts, you start to think about it a bit. And I guess this week is really where that happened to me on Tuesday. I really started to think like, man, I want to make progress in my trading, but I know I can be making more progress in my trading than just trying to dig out of drawdown in a bunch of accounts. And I gave myself to the end of the week. I'm like, you know what? We're going to see how we do throughout the week. If we're still in drawdown by the end of the week, even risking heavy, we will just full port the last of it on a trade and see what happens. If we blow them, cool. Buy new accounts, start fresh, fresh, fresh psychology, all of that fun stuff. And if not, then we'll get out of drawdown, right? Whatever the case is. So, anyways, that's just, I guess, the backstory. But if you are in a scenario like that where it is negatively affecting your psychology, I would simply recommend sometimes starting fresh. I don't like to do it even now because that's not realistic for when you are trading a live account. However, these aren't live accounts. So we shouldn't be treating them as if they are. And we would not be trading live accounts if we weren't profitable with prop firms first, unless you just go straight to live, right? And just fully ignore prop firms. But you get what I'm trying to say. Regardless, it's been 3 minutes. Let's get into the trade recap. Well, I ended up taking shorts today when I was initially looking for longs to the upside. Starting off on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we've seen this huge daily fair value gap. I wanted to see a retracement into. That was really this high was my quote draw, or it was mainly the daily fair value gap. But we go on the 4 hour, continue to validate bullish confluence. Had these 4 hour highs. Had these 4 hour highs. When we go on the hourly now, this is important because there is a reason why I did not end up taking longs to the upside today. We had these high external hourly highs right here. We ended up taking out. However, what happened on the lower time frames is more important. On the lower time frames, we had a 15-minute bullish fair value gap here, and we were trading within this bullish fair value gap for a while. Market open, price action was doing mumbo jumbo, made a retracement for the 15-minute fair value gap, then formed this change in state of delivery to the upside. Typically, I would execute upon this. There was no SMT with ES, unfortunately. With this change in state of delivery, I mean, we could double check. No. However, that's fine. So I didn't look to execute upon it. but this was the main reason, not the SMT itself. However, the hourly. This was at 9:54, so 9:55, 5 minutes before 10 a.m. hourly close, before the 4 hour fair value gap forms and the next hourly fair value gap. What I was potentially expecting to see was for us to form that hourly fair value gap, which we did end up doing clearly, then end up making a retracement for it before then continuing higher. So if I show you guys my journal, right here, I wrote, I was looking to take potentially the change of state of delivery to the upside. That was around 1 to 1.8 R. And I wrote low probability, or not low probability. I wrote 10 a.m. close could affect probability, meaning could take that trade, get stopped out due to the retracement before price action, actually trading toward our draw. Didn't want to get stopped out prematurely. However, I'm sure there were more confluences within here in order to take longs to the upside. But I didn't end up taking longs, unfortunately. Price action consolidated for around 2 hours over here, but this was when I was looking to take shorts. Upon this consolidation, we ended up forming an SMT with ES, and that to me, edging this high. So I was thinking to myself, okay, now we could potentially see a reversal, maybe before later then continuing back to the upside toward that draw on liquidity. So once we seen that SMT and that change state of delivery to the downside, I executed. I was like, you know what? We're going to target first presented fair value gap as our draw because we didn't really have anything else to target. Maybe if price would have went in our direction, maybe that changed state of delivery as the order block. But regardless, that was our target. Also had these internal lows. So price action formed that SMT, executed upon that change in state of delivery, and we had this 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. We wanted to see get invalidated in order to give us confidence that we would have potential continuing to the downside. Instead, we formed an SMT right here with ES. So we SMT'd here, continuing back to the upside. That was our confluence that, hey, we're continuing back to the upside now, looking to make that retracement for that huge daily fair value gap. Price action from that SMT continue to the upside, which you guys can see. And yeah, stop this out. So, 1 second. Bam. What now? Well, I guess we could go into what I could have done better. I didn't necessarily do anything wrong with this trade. If anything, I would want to say did wrong would have been shorting before making the higher time frame retracement. But even then, I have no yogurt. Even then, still a good solid short nonetheless. Okay, now that they're gone, solid short nonetheless. Don't really know what else to say. I'm going to continue to backtest, refine my model. I'm getting a bit better with it. By a bit, I mean a lot of bit better with it. My old model before with the double PD array execution wasn't necessarily a model that I found sustainable. To me, it seemed more like a continuation model. And I didn't want to just focus on catching continuations. I wanted to catch the actual move itself. And so that's why I ended up not switching models, but building upon that one, which is why I included, different PD arrays and change state delivery, SMT and whatnot, right? But apart from that, yeah, that's the trade. I don't know what I should do. Should I just sit and talk or? Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. But that's the I don't know. I'm now on My Funded Futures trying to find something to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. Anyways, there's a trading recap. Today was NFP. No, I didn't wake up early at 5:30 a.m. in order to full port NFP. Maybe I should have. Maybe one day I will. I've actually never full ported on a full port Friday. I talk about it as a joke. Okay, you can actually find a video on my channel where I said full port. But I don't think I actually full ported. Anyways, video is 9 minutes and 52 seconds long. I thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Peace.